You're mine now. Hold it right there.
Let's play a game, shall we?
Welcome to Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. I can't believe I haven't Let's Played this or even really played it. The only one I remember playing to any real extent is Apollo Justice. Damn good game, but maybe I should play the one that started it all. Don't you think? When he was still an actual attorney instead of just a dude sporting a baggie on his head. Bean baggie. I don't know the name. Forget it. Episode 1, the first turnabout. Well, I solved the problem. Her head is bleeding. Case closed. I can't get caught. Not like this. I've got to find someone to pin this on. Someone like him. I'll make it look like he did it. Well, you kind of spilled your load there, game. You kind of already showed us the guy's face. Oh well, I guess we do have to prove it's him. Boy, am I nervous. Right! Oh, hiya, Chief. Whew, I'm glad I made it on time. Well, I have to say, Phoenix, I'm impressed. Not everyone takes on a murder trial right off the bat like this. It says a lot about you. And your client as well. Thanks. Actually, it's because I owe him a favor. A favor? You mean you knew the defendant before this case? Yes. Actually, I kind of owe my current job to him. He's one of the reasons I became an attorney. Well, that's news to me. I want to help him out any way I can. I just really want to help him. I owe him that much. It's over. My life, everything, it's all over! Isn't that your client screaming over there? Yeah, that's him. Death, despair. Ooh! I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna die. It sounds like he wants to die. Yeah. Nick! Hey there, Larry. Dude, I'm so guilty. Tell them I'm guilty. Give me the death sentence. I ain't afraid to die. What? What's wrong, Larry? Oh, it's all over. I'm finished. Finished. What are you talking about? I can't live in a world without her. I can't. Who? Who took her away from me, Nick? Who did this? Nick, you gotta tell me. Who took my baby away? The person responsible for your girlfriend's death? The newspapers say it was you. Obviously it wasn't him. We saw the guy who did it. My name is Phoenix Wright. Here's the story. My first case is a fairly simple one. A young woman was killed in her apartment. The guy they arrested was the unlucky sap dating her. Larry Butts. My best friend since grade school. Our school had a saying, when something smells, it's usually the butts. What? In the 23 years I've known him, it's usually been true. He has a knack for getting himself in trouble. One thing I can't say, though, it's usually not his fault. He just has terrible luck. But I know better than anyone that he's a good guy at heart. That and I owe him one, which is why I took the case, to clear his name. And that's just what I'm gonna do! Objection! Sorry, not yet. August 3rd, 10 a.m., District Court, Courtroom number 2. The court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Larry Butts. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The, defense is ready, Your Honor. Mr. Wright? This is your first trial, is it not? Yes, Your Honor. I'm, a little nervous. Your conduct during this trial will decide the fate of your client. Murder is a serious charge. For your client's sake, I hope you can control your nerves. Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, given the circumstances, I think we should have a test to ascertain your readiness. Yes, Your Honor. Oh. Hand shaking, eyesight fading. The test will consist of a few simple questions. Answer them clearly and concisely. Please state the name of the defendant in this case. Well, obviously, Larry Butts. The defendant? Well, that's Larry Butts, Your Honor. Correct. Just keep your wits about you and you'll do fine. Next question. This is a murder trial. Tell me, what's the victim's name? Phew, I know this one. Glad I read the report cover to cover it so many times. It's... Wait. Uh-oh. No way, I forgot! I'm drawing a total blank here! Phoenix, are you absolutely sure you're up to this? You don't even know the victim's name? Oh, the victim. Of course I know the victim's name. I, just forgot, temporarily. I think I feel a migraine coming on. Look, the defendant's name is listed in the court record. Just touch the court record button to check it any time, okay? Remember to check it often. Do it for me, please. I'm begging you. Let's hear your answer. Who is the victim in this case? Well, obviously, Cindy. Her name is Cindy, sir. Wait. Wasn't it Miss Block? Miss Cindy? Oh, crap. Was a victim of murder, not ill-conceived naming, Mr. Wright. Right? If you forget something, just touch the court record button to help you remember. Could cost you the case.
I'll ask you again. Let's hear your answer. Who is the victim in this case?
Whoops. I should have read all of it. My bad. Oh, okay. Cindy's autopsy reports. But there's no last name. Why is there a last name? Okay. Fine. Be that way. Okay, so obviously it's Cindy Stone. The victim's name is Cindy Stone.
Correct. Now, tell me, what was the cause of death? She died because she was...
Blunt trauma. Hit with a blunt object. She was struck once by a blunt object.
Correct. You've answered all my questions. I see no reason why we shouldn't proceed. You seem much more relaxed, Mr. Wright. Good for you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Because I don't feel relaxed, that's for sure.
Well then, first, a question for the prosecution, Mr. Payne?
Yes, Your Honor.
As Mr. Wright just told us, the victim was struck with a blunt object. Would you explain to the court just what that object was?
The murder weapon was the statue of the Thinker. It was found lying on the floor next to the victim.
I see. The court accepts it into evidence.
I see. Awesome. Right. Be sure to pay attention to any evidence added during the trial. That evidence is the only ammunition you have in court. Touch the court record button to check the court record frequently. Right. In the shape of the Thinker, it's rather heavy. Right.
Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its first witness.
The prosecution calls the defendant's Mr. Butt to the stands. Chief, what do I do now?
Chief, what do I do now?
Pay attention. You don't want to miss any information that might help your client's case. You'll get your chance to respond to the prosecution later, so be ready. Let's just hope he doesn't say anything. Unfortunate. Uh-oh. Larry gets excited easily. This could be bad. Love how he twitched. That's a nice attention to detail. Ahem. Mr. Butts, is it not true that the victim had recently dumped you? Hey, watch it, buddy. We were great together. We were Romeo and Juliet, Cleopatra and Mark Antony. Didn't they all die? I wasn't dumped. She just wasn't taking my phone calls or seeing me. Ever. What's it to you anyway? Mr. Butts, what you describe is generally what we mean by dumped. In fact, she had completely abandoned you and was seeing other men. She had just returned from overseas with one of them the day before the murder. What do you mean, one of them? Lies! All of it lies! I don't believe a word of it! Your Honor, the victim's passport. According to this, she was in Paris until the day before she died.
Passport added to the court record. Indeed. She appears to have returned the day before the murder.
Dude, no way. The victim was a model, but did not have a large income. It appears that she had several sugar daddies.
Daddies? Sugar?
Yes, older men who gave her money and gifts. She took their money and used it to support her lifestyle. Dude! We can clearly see what kind of woman this Miss Stone was. Tell me, Mr. Butts, what do you think of her now? Right? I don't think you want him to answer that question. Yeah, Larry has a way of running his mouth in all the wrong directions. Should I stop him from answering? He doesn't have to answer that. The victim apparently arrived. Okay. I don't think you should have to answer that. That's just personal. I mean, come on. My client had no idea the victim was seeing other men. That question is irrelevant to this case. Oof. Yeah, exactly. That's just getting personal there. That's character assassination. I mean, come on. Dude, Nick, what do you mean irrelevant? That cheating she-dog. I'm gonna die. I'm just gonna drop dead. Yeah, and when I met her in the afterlife, I'm gonna get to the bottom of this.
Let's continue with the trial, shall we?
I believe the accused's motive is clear to everyone.
Yes, quite.
Oh boy, this is so not looking good. Next question. You went to the victim's apartment on the day of the murder, did you not? Well, did you or did you not? well, maybe I did and maybe I didn't. Uh-oh, he went. What do I do? Have him answer honestly. I mean, I guess at this point, you gotta. I know, I'll send him a signal. Tell the truth! I'm gonna try to sound like Robin Williams. Tell her the truth! Sorry, had to. Yeah, I was there, I went.
Order! Well, Mr. Butts?
Dude, chill. She wasn't home, man. So, I didn't see her. Your Honor, the defendant is lying.
Lying?
The prosecution would like to call a witness who can prove Mr. Butts is lying.
Well, that simplifies matters. Who is your witness?
The man who found the victim's body just before making the gruesome discovery. He saw the defendant fleeing the scene of the crime. And what was he doing?
He was murdering her. Order! Order in the court! Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its witness.
Yes, Your Honor. This is bad. On the day of the murder, my witness was selling newspapers in the victim's building. Please bring Mr. Frank Sawit to the stand.
You!
Mr. Sawit, you sell newspaper subscriptions, is this correct? Oh, yes, newspapers, yes.
Mr. Sawit, you may proceed with your testimony. Please tell the court what you saw on the day of the murder.
Witness testimony. Witness's account. I was going door to door, selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing an apartment. I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Thinking it strange, I looked inside the apartment. Then I saw her laying there, a woman, not moving, dead. I quailed in fright and found myself unable to go inside. I thought to call the police immediately. However, the phone in her apartment wasn't working. I went to a nearby park and found a public phone. I remember the time exactly. It was 1 p.m. The man who ran was, without a doubt, the defendant sitting right over there. Did you even collect fingerprints or anything of the sort? This just seems like hearsay. Larry, why didn't you tell the truth? I can't defend you against a testimony like that.
Incidentally, why wasn't the phone in the victim's apartment working?
Your Honor, at the time of the murder, there was a blackout in the building.
Aren't phones supposed to work during a blackout?
Yes, Your Honor. However, some cordless phones do not function normally. The phone that Mr. Sawit used was one of those. Your Honor, I have a record of the blackout for your perusal.
Blackout record added to the court record. Now, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor.
You may begin your cross-examination.
Cross-examination, Your Honor. All right, Wright. This is it. The real deal.
What exactly am I supposed to do?
Why, you exposed the lies in the testimony the witness just gave.
Lies?
What? He was lying? Your client is innocent, right? Then that witness must have lied in his testimony. Or is it your client, really? Guilty.
How do I prove he's not?
You hold the key. It's in the evidence. Compare the witness's testimony to the evidence at hand. There's bound to be a contradiction there. First, find contradictions between the court record and the witness's testimony. Then, once you've found the contradicting evidence, present it and rub it in the witness's face. Okay. Touch the court record button and point out the contradictions in the testimony. Okay, let's see. Let's get on to it.
I've done this before. I know what to do.
I was going door to door selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing an apartment.
Maybe I should press him for more information. I want as much information as you got.
Isn't a man leaving an apartment a common sight? I find it odd you would take notice of him. I don't know. He just seemed strange to me, that's all. Like he was mad and yet frightened at the same time. Just like a criminal fleeing the scene of a crime.
The defense requests that the witness refrain from conjecture.
Yeah, of course. What the witness means is that the man he saw looked suspicious. So what happened next? I thought he might be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Press.
Half open, you say?
Yes, the door was open halfway, yes. I watched for a moment, but no one came to close the door. That's odd. In a big city like this, I thought.
I see, and what happened next?
Thinking it strange, I looked inside the apartment.
Press. I just want to press for all the information. What gave you the idea to do that?
Well, the door was half open, you see. Isn't it only human to want to peek? We climb mountains because they are there. It's the same thing. Truer words had never been spoken. Anyone would look inside.
Why did pain cut him off so quickly?
So you looked in the apartment. What happened then? Then I saw her laying there, a woman not moving, dead.
Let's see if there's any contradictions. Are you sure she was dead?
Well, no, I guess I wasn't. But she wasn't moving at all, and there was blood everywhere.
I guess that would look fatal to anyone. Very well. What happened next?
I quailed in fright and found myself unable to go inside.
But then how would you know that the phone wasn't working? So you didn't touch anything in the apartment?
Yes, I mean no, nothing.
Okay, what happened next?
I thought to call the police immediately.
Something smells fishy here. You thought to call the police. Does that mean you didn't actually call them?
Please, listen to the rest of the testimony. You thought to call the police. What happened next? However, the phone in her apartment wasn't working.
Bingo! You said you didn't go inside. You said you didn't touch anything. BS, man. The phone in her apartment wasn't working.
Yes, I mean no, it wasn't, right.
But you said you didn't go into the apartment, or did you?
Oh, that? I can explain that. There was a cordless phone on a shelf in the entranceway. I reached inside and tried using that to call. And that phone wasn't working, correct? What happened next?
Oh, that sounds BS. I went to a nearby park and found a public phone.
I remember the time exactly. It was 1 p.m.
Oh, are you sure it was 1 p.m.? 1 p.m., are you certain?
Yes, absolutely.
He seems really confident.
1 p.m.? Right. Doesn't that seem strange to you? Present some evidence to contradict him.
Oh, yes. I think we got him this time. Okay. Loss, okay. Time of death. Oh, look at that. 4 p.m. through 5 p.m. Gotcha. Objection! You found the body at 1 p.m. You're sure?
Yes, it was 1 p.m. for certain.
Frankly, I find that hard to believe. Your statement directly contradicts the autopsy report. The autopsy notes the time of death at sometime after 4 p.m. There was no body to find at 1 p.m. How do you explain this 3-hour gap?
Objection! This is trivial! The witness merely forgot the time!
Bill crap! After his testimony, I find that hard to believe. Mr. Sawit, why were you so certain that you found the body at 1 p.m.?
Gee, that's a really good question. Great job, Wright. Way to put him on the spot. That's all you have to do. Point out his contradictions. Lies always beget more lies. See through one, and their whole story falls apart.
Oh, I'm in the zone now.
Wait, I remember now.
Would you care to give your testimony again?
Oh, great. Here we go. You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. Oh, but it was 3 hours off, wasn't it? I guess the victim must have been watching a video of a tape program. That's why I thought it was 1 p.m. Terribly sorry about the misunderstanding.
I find that hard to believe. I see. You heard a voice saying at the time on a tape program. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Right. You know what to do.
I've got this one. Let's cross-examine this mother.
You see, when I found the body, I heard the time.
Are you sure? You said heard, not saw?
Yes, heard. All I saw was the body lying there. I didn't think to look at anything else, least of all my watch.
Isn't that a little strange? So you're saying you heard something, but if you were so shocked by the body, you wouldn't hear anything at all.
The witness did say he actually heard the time. It's ludicrous to suggest that he wouldn't hear anything.
I have to agree with the prosecution. Witness, continue your testimony.
Let's press him further. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television.
Press. Are you sure it was a television and not a radio?
Well, no, I guess it might have been a radio. Incidentally, there was no radio on the premises. There was only one large television. Right. I can't put my finger on it, but something about this seems fishy. Something about hearing the television. The witness has testified he heard the time.
Okay, I guess that means there's some kind of evidence here, right? Oh, right! The blackout, of course! How could you have heard the television if there was a blackout? You mother? You're mine now. Hold it right there! The prosecution has said there was a blackout at the time of the discovery. And this record proves it. You couldn't have heard a television or a video.
Gah!
The defense has a point. Do you have an explanation for this, Mr. Sawit?
No, I find it quite puzzling myself. Wait, I remember now.
Mr. Sawit, the court would prefer to hear an accurate testimony from the very beginning. These constant corrections are harming your credibility. That, and you seem rather distraught.
My apologies, Your Honor. It must have been the shock of finding the body.
Very well, Mr. Sawit. Let's hear your testimony once more, please. He's gonna have some more BS to try to hear this. Where'd you hear the time from, buddy? Huh?
Actually, I didn't hear the time. I saw it. There was a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. That must have been what I saw.
Bull crap! He used a statue. I didn't even have to cross-examine him this time. Screw that. I already know what he did. I actually remembered this one. Okay. Bull crap. He used a statue. You're mine now, brother. Wait just a moment. The murder weapon wasn't a clock. It was this statue. Now, how is this supposed to be a clock?
What? You with your objections and your evidence. Just who do you think you are?
Just answer the question, Mr. Sawit.
Hey, I saw it there, okay? That's a clock. Your Honor, if I may.
Yes, Mr. Payne?
As the witness stated, this statue was indeed a clock. The neck is a switch. You just tilt it and it says the time out loud. As it doesn't look like a clock, I submitted it as a statue. My apologies.
I see. So the murder weapon was a table clock after all. Well, Mr. Wright, it appears that the witness's testimony was correct. This is a clock. Do you have any problems with his testimony now? Let's see, do I? I'm not really sure. Let's see, passport. Well, I guess I don't. I guess not. There was a clock on the scene, so no problem.
Right. Are you out of your mind? That clock doesn't look like a clock at all. That witness couldn't have possibly known it was a clock just by seeing it. He said himself he never entered the apartment. It was in his testimony. Hey!
You're right. Is something the matter? Does the defense have anything to add?
Yes I do. The only way he could have known the weapon was a clock is to hold it in his hand. Yet the witness testified that he never entered the apartment.
Clearly a contradiction. Indeed. It's a good thing the game saved me from that. The witness knew it was a clock because he went to the apartment. You're lying. You were inside the apartment on the day of the murder.
Oh yeah? Prove it! Prove I went in there!
I'll do better than that. I can prove you were the one who killed her. You struck her with a clock. and the shock of the blow triggered the clock's voice. That was the sound you heard. Order in the court. Intriguing. Please continue, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Sawit, the sound must have left quite an impression on you. Understandable, since the murder weapon spoke just as you hit the victim. That voice was burned into your mind. That's why you were so certain about the time.
What's the meaning of this? This is all baseless conjecture.
Baseless? Just look at the witness's face. Would the witness care to elaborate? Did you strike the victim with the clock?
That day, I never. Look, the clock, I saw. Ah!
Wow, really? His throat's toupee?
Shut up, I hate you! It was him, I tell you. I saw him. He killed her, and he should burn, give him death.
Yeah, really looking incredible there, aren't you, buddy? Order in the court, I say.
Your Honor, a moment, please. There isn't a shred of evidence supporting the defense's claims.
Mr. Wright, Your Honor, you claim the sound the witness heard came from the clock. Do you have any evidence?
The whole case is riding on this. I'd better think it through carefully.
Yes, Your Honor. The sound Mr. Sawit heard was definitely this clock, a fact which is clear if you simply try sounding the clock? I mean, he could do that. Try sounding the clock. Let's sound the clock here in this court. Your Honor, may I have the clock? I ask the court to listen very carefully.
I think it's 8:25.
That certainly is a strange way to announce the time.
Well, he is the thinker after all.
So, we've heard the clock. What are your conclusions, Mr. Wright?
Mr. Payne, can you tell me what time it is now? It's 11:25. Ag!
As you can see, this clock is exactly 3 hours slow. Precisely the discrepancy between Mr. Sawit heard and the actual time of death. So, Mr. Sawit, try to talk your way out of this one.
Ha! You forgot one thing!
Uh-oh. What's he talking about?
While it may seem like this clock is running 3 hours slow, it proves nothing. How do you know it was running 3 hours slow on the day of the murder? If you can't prove that, you don't have a case.
He's right. How am I going to prove that? Damn it, I was so close. Mr. Wright, it seems you lack the critical evidence to support your claim.
Yes, Your Honor.
This means I cannot let you indict the witness. Unfortunately, this ends the cross-examination of Mr. Frank Sawit.
I come all the way down here to testify, and look what happens. They treat me like a criminal. A criminal! You lawyers are all slime.
Grr, I almost had him. Sorry, Larry. I failed you. There's nothing I can do about it now.
Not so fast, Mr. Sawit!
Oh, here we go. Gotta love that music.
Chief! Listen up, Wright? Don't throw this one away. Not like this. Think.
But Chief, it's over. I can't prove the clock was slow the day of the murder.
Well, yeah, because he kind of claimed it was a different time, and then he said that it was. All of his statements prove that it was.
Nobody can prove that.
Well, yes. But that doesn't mean you can't still win. Try thinking out of the box. Don't waste time doubting the facts. Assume the clock was 3 hours slow, and think through it. Ask yourself, why was the clock 3 hours slow? Figure out the reason, and you'll have your proof. Right? Can you think of a reason as to why the clock would be 3 hours slow?
Perhaps because of the blackout?
Wait, maybe I can prove it. You must have evidence somewhere that can prove it, right? Find it and let them have it.
Well, Mr. Wright, you say the clock was actually running slow on the day of the murder. Have you found evidence to support this claim?
Of course.
There's a piece of evidence in the court record that can prove my claim beyond a doubt.
Ha! Tough words. Let's see you pull this one off.
Let's see this evidence that proves why the clock was running slow.
Let's see. Was out from noon to 6 p.m. No, that would be noon and not 1. Let's see.
Maybe the blackout record. Let's try that. Excuse me, this proves your claim. How? I can't see what that evidence has to do with the clock. No, that wasn't it. One more chance. Give me just one more chance. All right, Mr. Wright, but time is not on your side. Be quick about it. Let's see this evidence that proves why the clock was running slow. I don't understand. Let's see. Paris. The autopsy report. Okay, I'm gonna save this just in case because now I'm thinking, excuse me. Okay, now I'm just confused. The statue itself? I don't get it. So, what is it, the passport? Oh, okay. Sorry. The victim had just returned home from abroad the day before the murder. As we all know, the time difference between here and Paris is 9 hours. When it's 4 p.m. here, it's 1 a.m. the next day there. The clock wasn't 3 hours slow. It was 9 hours fast. The victim hadn't reset her clock since returning home. Well, you see, you would have had to know about time zones to know about that. That's why the time you heard when you struck her dead in her apartment was wrong. Proof enough for you, Mr. Sawit. Or should I say, Mr. Did It? Sorry that I had to cheat there. Okay, unfortunately I'm running out of time now, so I gotta wrap this up. Order! Order, I say! Well, this case has certainly turned out differently than we all expected. Mr. Payne, your client?
He was arrested and has been taken away, Your Honor.
Very well. Mr. Wright?
Yes, Your Honor. I have to say, I'm impressed. I don't think I've ever seen someone complete a defense so quickly. And find the true culprit at the same time. Thank you, Your Honor. Oh, sorry, that was him talking. At this point, this is only formality, but this court finds the defendant, Mr. Larry Butts, not guilty. There you go, Larry. In my defense, I didn't know about the time zone difference. I probably should have thought about that, but... And with that, the court is adjourned. It turns out that Frank Sawit was a common burglar. He posed as a newspaper salesman to check and see when people were out of the house. That day, when Larry went to her apartment, the victim wasn't home. After he left, Mr. Sawit let himself in to do his dirty work. While he was searching her place, the victim returned. Flustered, Mr. Sawit grabbed the nearest blunt object he could find. And he struck her. And he killed her. August 3rd, 2:32 p.m. District Court. Defendant lobbyist number 2. Whew, I still can't believe we won. Right, good job in there. Congratulations.
Thanks, Chief. I owe it all to you.
Not at all, not at all. You fought your own battles in there. It's been a while since I've seen a trial end on such a satisfying note.
I've never seen the Chief looking this happy. If she's this glad, imagine how Larry must feel.
My life is over.
Larry, you're supposed to be happy. What's wrong now?
Aw, Nick. Don't worry about me. I'll be dead and gone soon.
Good. Wait, no! I mean, bad. Larry, you're innocent. The case is closed.
But my Cindy Wendy's gone, man. Gone forever.
Larry, she was, nah, never mind.
Congratulations, Harry. Harry? Yes, you. I can practically see the headlines now. Harry Butts, innocent.
Thanks. I really owe you one.
I won't forget this ever. Let's celebrate. Dinner, movie, my treat. Oh no, I couldn't.
Hey, I was the one who got you off the hook.
Oh, hey. Here, take this. It's a present. A present? For me? Wait, wasn't this the evidence that... Actually, I made this clock for her. I made one for her and one for me. Really? You? You made this? Well, thank you. I'll keep it as a memento.
Wow, look who's already trying to get a new lover, huh?
Yo, Nick, can you believe it? I was so into that chick. And she was just playing me for a fool. Don't that make you want to cry?
Larry.
Are you so sure? Excuse me? I think she thought quite a lot of you in her own way.
Nah, you don't gotta sympathize with me.
Oh, I'm not just sympathizing, really. Isn't that right, Wright? Don't you have something to show your friend? Something that proves how she felt about him?
Uh-huh. Oh yeah, right. What the heck is she talking about? Wait. The passport? I don't get it. What proves it? Oh, because she still had the clock, right? Check this out, Larry. Proof positive you weren't just some chump to her. Huh? Where'd you get that clock? This is the clock you made for her, Larry. She took it with her when she traveled.
She probably just needed a clock, that's all.
You'd think so. It's a pretty heavy clock to take traveling. Well, make of it what you will.
Hey, Nick. I'm glad I asked you to be my lawyer. Really, I am. Thanks.
Hope that made him feel a little better. Even though I kind of had to cheat at the end there, but hey, let's not talk about that.
Right? I hope you see the importance of evidence now. Also, hopefully you realize things change depending on how you look at them. People, too. We never really know if our clients are guilty or innocent. All we can do is believe in them. And in order to believe in them, you have to believe in yourself. Right? Listen, learn, grow strong. Never let go of what you believe in. Never. Well, I think our work here is done. Shall we be off?
Yeah, I guess so.
Say, how about dinner on me? We'll drink a toast to innocent butts.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of Harry, you were saying part of why you became a lawyer was because of him.
Yeah, part at least.
You have to tell me more about it sometime, maybe. Over drinks?
Wow, okay. And so, my first trial came to a close. Larry slapped me on the back and said, "Gee, Nick, it's good to have friends, but I'm pretty sure he's not going to pay me, unless you count the clock he gave Maya." I didn't know it then, but that clock was soon going to be at the center of another incident. And my promise to tell the chief about me and Larry would be one promise that I wouldn't be able to keep. What happens next? You'll have to find out if I do another one of these episodes, and I'm already way over my time. That's it for now. Thank you so much for tuning in with me. Make sure to spread this video around like court cases. And I will see you next time. Now go out there and capitalize on life. Peace out, have a good one, and have a nice and pleasant day.
If you enjoyed the content and want to stay up to date, I upload 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every single day. You can also subscribe and hit the bell icon, or just check out the end screens right here.